Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another episode of our Gibraltar Challenge. Now, in this episode, we are going to have our first league game of the season, and of course that Pepe Raiders Cup final as well, which means we're actually going to play two matches against Lincoln Red Imps, the top team. Well, they were the top team in Gibraltar when we first started this. They've dropped down now. I think they did actually get relegated for one season. They got themselves back up, and now they look to be getting stronger once again. So it's going to be an interesting little two matches. It could really go either way. They defeated us both league games last season, which is a little bit worrying. So hopefully we can. Sorry, they defeated us all three league games last season. They really were the only team that can compete against us. So this year we need to start off with two big wins against them to see if we can really just show our dominance once again. We have a few new transfers as well to have a look at, but I'm just going to have a quick look and see how they got in the Europa Cup. They lost 7-0 on aggregate to this team here from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I tell you what, I'm just so annoyed, because if I was getting clubs like this, I think we would do quite well. But evidently we've not had that luck. So, yeah, they've not done too well in the Europa League, and I'm hoping to pile on the pressure with more damage here today. Now, transfer-wise, we've brought a few new people in. Let's have a quick look. We brought in 4 new players since the last episode. First one is Karoli Tamas, who's a young Hungarian. The scouts seem to like him quite well, actually. They said he was going to be 5-star potential. When he's turned up, the coaches don't seem to agree completely, but we'll leave him down in the reserves for a couple of years, so he gets on. If he develops well, then who knows? He might still come in useful. Apparently he's a decent level for the senior team, so you never know. He might get himself some football this season. Next, I've gone in and brought another striker. This guy was on a free transfer from this club, Centro Español or something, but he was in the under-20s. He's not actually in the under-20s anymore. Now we've signed him, he's been dropped from the Argentinian under-20s. He's not actually played for them yet, but I thought he must be quite a good player. After looking at his stats, good finishing, good dribbling, good heading, good determination, leadership off the ball. Quite a few good stats that you'd like to see from your striker, so he might be quite good. And as you can see, potential ability to be superb for us, and current ability is not too bad either. He could get a few games this season as well. Neil Triffett is a player I've had my eye on for a couple of years now. He's been released a while ago. He's actually an old Man United player. And, well, you know, if he came through the Man United Academy, he can't be too bad. And his stats look pretty decent. As you can see, potential and current ability are quite high. So we might get some football out of him straight away. And he's actually wanted by, wanted by a lot of clubs. So we're going to just pile £1 million on him to start off with, just to try and discourage anyone from making too many offers. Jamie Wildman, a young American right back, as you can see, on such a small amount of money, which is fantastic for us because he's a very, very good player, very good right back. We signed him from the Houston Dutch Lions, which are American, and I think he's going to be our number 1 this year because is it Mick Bird? I've forgotten his name now. Our right back from last season, he suffered an injury. He's going to be out for 7 or so weeks, and he's not happy, so I think we'll try and get rid of him in January, whatever way we can as well. A couple of players we have lost since the last episode. I've released Michael Luke because he was just getting on my nerves, really. So I was hoping that another club in Gibraltar will pick him up and he doesn't retire, because he's good enough and he plays first team for Gibraltar. But I just assumed that as soon as I released him, someone else would pick him up straight away. But it doesn't seem to have happened so far. But hopefully he doesn't retire. And we've also sold Jens Højgaard. I was very unhappy about this one, but the club came in with a £1,000 offer, which I rejected. They came in with a £10,000 offer, which I rejected. They came in with 15,000. I went, you know what? If you offer me 50 grand and 50% of any future sales, we'll have a deal. And they came in and offered it straight away, so I couldn't really say no. It's going to give us 50 grand, and should they sell him on for a profit, or should they sell him on at all, we're going to get half of that money. So even if they sell him for what they brought him for, we're going to make another 25 grand in the future. But chances are they'll probably sell him on for a lot more, because I think he's got a good potential. He always seems to have a good potential for us. So hopefully we'll make some money out of that in the future. So, whoa, hang on a minute, 1 second. Yep, carry on. Yep, sorry, I'm watching the football on the telly at the same time as I'm recording this. It just popped up and said there was 2 things recording at once, with a little bit of worry. Anyway, yep, so we're gonna have these 2 games against Lincoln Red Imps. Pepe Raiders Cup first, then the first league game. Let's get straight into that first one and show you how our new players get on. And here we are. As you can see, we are humongous favourites for this one, 1-6. Lincoln are 10-1. I think we're going to run away with this one, to tell you the truth. Let's see how we get on. This should be pretty easy for us. We've played a similar formation to what we played last year. We've got Bruno Romito in goal, a player who's just getting better and better, and he's actually wanted now as well by Crew. So again, oh no, he's got a minimum release fee on him. That's a worry. So let's see if we can get rid of this minimum release fee before we panic. Going to lock him in for 2 years, hopefully. He's currently on 1.2 thousand. Let's put him up to 1.5. Minimum release fee, I want to get rid of that, remove. But then maybe, I don't know, what can we do to bolster you up? Maybe slightly more agent fee just to... Yes, right, that's fine. We've got rid of that minimum release fee now. And we've locked him until the end of next season as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that on screen, but that was just a little bit annoying. I didn't want to risk losing him out to another £500 deal. Right, we've got Jared Murphy at left back. So we've got 2 Australians to start our team off, and he looks like a really good player. His stats are going up quite a lot at the moment. That was because he was out injured for quite a while last year, so his stats dropped a little bit. But hopefully you can get them all back up this year. It's a bit of a shame he only managed to play 8 games for us last season, but I think we'll get a lot more out of him this year. In the middle, we're playing Dulce, Juan Carlos Dulce. Really good centre-back, actually. I think he's going to do really well for us this year. Alongside him, of course, we have Nick Harlton, who was a player who really wanted to leave the club in the summer, and then as soon as the window finished, he was quite happy to stay with us. So I'm not too disappointed about that. I'm happy that he's managed to talk him round. We're going to play Jamie Wildman for his debut at right back. Looking like a really good player, this one, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing how well he slots into this first team. We've got Marlon Manning at defensive midfield. His second season here now. Had a good season last year with 23 games and 3 goals. And I'll be hoping to build on that this year. Stats are going up once again, so that's good. We're going to play Anders Broger at defensive midfield. I didn't want to play Wes Morgan, but he has picked up an injury, so I didn't want to really risk him getting injured right at the beginning of the season. So Broger's come in for his only second ever appearance for us, and I think he should get more football this year because he looks like a really good player, and his ability is actually quite good as well. His potential is very good. So he's a player we've had now for a couple of years. This is his second season, and I think this year it might be easier to really show us what he can do. Diego Buanet, the player we brought at the end of last season, absolutely cracking player. The only worry I have about this guy is that I keep doing this for contracts, but he does have a bit in his contract that says if he plays 15 games, he gets an automatic second season on his contract, which I don't think is going to be a problem for us. I think he's got the stats to be really good for a couple of years for us, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. We've got Luis Felipe, apparently our key player, playing at attacking midfield, shall I say, as well. He is wanted by Sao Paulo, so that shows how good of a player he is. We're going to boost him up to 2.5 million because I think he's actually our best player at the moment, so we don't really want to lose him unless we get a nice bit of cash for him. In the middle, we're going to have Neil Triffitt making his debut. See how good this guy is. He's from the Man United Academy, so he can't be too bad. And up front, we're going to stick with Ryan Twyford, who did score a good goal against Maribor, but other than that, he sort of disappointed with some of his sort of opportunities. He didn't really take the most of them. So hopefully, in the league, he's going to be a lot more dominant. So enough of all of this. Have they got any Barrow players? I don't recognise any of the names. So let's get straight into it and see if we can win the Pepe Reyes Cup. As you can see, quite a few people playing their first games of the season here. Triffitt, Broger, Murphy, Dulce, Wildman, all playing their first game of the season. We've also got Dumitrescu on the bench as well, and Ashley Miller. Dumitrescu is our young Romanian goalkeeper we brought towards the end of last season. He might get a little bit of football this year as well. If we get a few easier games, there's no reason why he can't play in like a few cup games, this, that and the other, just to help him advance on as a player as well, which is something very important to do. And look at this, we've managed to sell out the stadium, and this is getting better and better for us now. We've broken our record for season tickets. We've sold 125 this year. We only sold 102 last year, so we're definitely improving as a club. We've got a much better fan base now than what we did when we very first started this, and you can see we're filling the stadium out now. Whereas when we first started again, the whole challenge, our stadium was empty for most games. So it's great to see that we're still selling it out now, and if we can bolster up our bank balance and we can continue to do so, then there's no reason why we can't be looking to build our own stadium in the next sort of 5 years, I reckon. Especially if we can get further in the Champions League, that'd be great. Philippe with a header, and terrible defending, and Neil Triffitt on his debut sneaks in and plays the ball into the back of the net. A goal on his debut. You can't ask for much better than that, really, can you? And it's Wildman with a headed ball forward, and Philippe. And it was terrible by Holland, really. Played the back pass and didn't really see what was behind him, and Triffitt just stole in and put it into the back of the net. So well done to him. let's see if we can build upon that and maybe get a second or third goal here today. And we're dominating here. You can see seven shots and 2 on target in the first 25 minutes. They've had no shots at all as yet. But this could be their first opportunity. And a sneaky little pass there by Nolan to Jones to Celabios. On Jackson's in. And it's a good save by Ramito. It takes a lot to get past our Australian goalkeeper. Absolutely top player. And that's why we tried to lock him into the end of next season. Or at least make people give us a little bit of money for him. Because that's what we deserve. We can't keep buying in these free transfers, spending wages and developing them, and then ending up losing the free transfers on a free. We lose them free again. It doesn't really advantage us. We need to get at least a little bit of money back, even just to cover the wages for a couple of years. Twyford couldn't score past Green. So we are dominating still. 58% of possession, 10 shots, 3 on target. I would have hoped for getting another goal for the amount of shots we've had, but you can't complain too much, I suppose. Boinet to Philippe, and those 2 players alone. Those are 2 players we brought towards the end of last season, so they've not had a full year with us yet. So it'd be interesting to see just how dominant we are now with those 2. They were just a different level, really. Boinet to take the corner. There it is, and Dulce, oh, nearly the 2 Argentinian guys linking up there to get us the second goal of the game. Wildman now out on the right-hand side with the throw-in. It's in. Crossley takes it away from Twyford. Plays the big ball forward, but there's no one really there to help Jackson out. Jackson just heads it on, and it's picked up by the Argentinian Dulce, who played it to Halton, who plays a very dodgy headed return to Dulce. Gets it to Marlon Manning, our Monserratian defensive midfielder. Very, very good player. Boinet. Oh, I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing that correctly, but that's what I'm calling him. Triffett to Philippe, and there's Twyford, and there's his first domestic goal of the season. Of course, he's already scored in the Champions League against Maribor. And here he is now scoring a second goal for us in this game against Lincoln Red Imps. And now we are 2-0 up before half-time. Makes it a little bit more comfortable. And Philippe with the assist. I don't know if Philippe got the first assist because the defender touched the ball in between. No, he doesn't. He's not classed as getting that assist, which is a bit of a shame. But I still think the team we've got this year is going to be so strong. Really, really strong. It's going to be an incredible side. And I think we're going to dominate even more than we have done over the previous few years. It's just a case of, I just wonder whether getting Maribor in the Champions League is a good thing for us or a bad thing. I think as we've gone on, we've started to, we've started to build up now. I think we've started to get a reputation up. I don't know if that means that seeding-wise, we now miss out on the more difficult clubs in that second qualifying stage. Because there are clubs in there like TNS, teams that we've beaten quite convincingly a few years back, so we destroy them now. So it's a little bit disappointing that we seem to be avoiding clubs like that. And I'm hoping that we do start to get some more easier games. We're at 50 odd minutes now. Might think about making a couple of substitutions maybe. Everyone's pretty much match fit on the table, but I'd just like to maybe just try a few extra players out. Maybe bring off Boinet. I don't want to push him too much. Yeah, he's not overly match fit anyway, so I don't want to push him too much because of his age, of course. I don't want to risk him getting injured, of course. Murphy, come back for a big injury last year, but it seems to be okay. I'm going to take off Halton for Maguire, give him a bit of first team football. And obviously we'll leave it as that because we don't want to risk using all 3 of our substitutions on the hour mark. Is there another couple of goals in this for us, hopefully? I'm hoping there's another couple of goals in this for us. There's not even any highlights at the moment, is there? And they've got the ball. They play it out from the left-back position. It's straight over the top, and Jackson's in. Jackson is in here. Can they get a consolation goal, or get one back, shall I say? They can't. He puts it wide. Lincoln would be disappointed with that. That could have been the start of their revival, but it wasn't quite enough. 21 shots, 7 on target. I'm disappointed that we've only scored 2 goals, I must admit. I think Twyford is a good player. It might take him a little bit of time just to get completely used to our style of play and get used to players playing behind him, but he can't be in a better situation really. With Philippe, Triffett and Miller playing behind him now, those are 3 very, very creative players. Goals are going to be so free coming for him, and I think he's in a very good place at the moment. It's really going to help him advance on in his Nottingham Forest career as well. And hopefully we'll have a future top player. Of course he goes back on, he's only on loan for the season, but if we can show a player that's really at the top of his game that he spent a year with us, that might help us out, you never know. Reputation wise, build us up. 2 minutes left. We've still got a minute left. I don't know if this, normally you get a highlight right at the end that shows the half-time whistle, but this could actually end up being more than that here. Or maybe not, they're playing around defence now. I can't see them getting 2 goals back anyway. Big ball forward, Maguire cuts it out, it goes to Triffett. Is there one last counter-attack in this for us? Broga forward, great ball to Philippe. And I really do like Broga. It's he's been good that he hasn't moaned about the lack of first-team football last season. Twyford, oh, he's put it wide. Come on, lad. You got 15 finishing, you should not be putting that wide. Like I say, it might still just be a little bit of just a beginner's sort of nerves for him. I think as time goes on, he'll probably become a better player, but at the moment, he's struggling a little bit with his finishing. Doesn't matter too much though. We win 2-0 and we pick up the first bit of silverware of the season. The Pepe Reyes Cup. The fans in the background are exuberant, which is a pretty fitting word for it. And everyone's delighted apart from Marlon Manning for some reason. He was very confident anyway. He's superb morale, so I'm not going to worry too much about him not being happy. Luis Philippe gets the man of the match. No surprises there. Cracking player, 9.0 and an assist. And yeah, what a great start to the season, picking up our first bit of silverware. Let's get into our first league game again against Lincoln Redham. So beating them once, can we beat them a second time? Let's go for it. And here we go with that first league match of the season. As you can see, we've now been in charge for 8 years as well, and it feels like so much longer to consider. We've brought them from the second division. We've won the league now 6 years in a row. We've built up the fan base. We've become professional. We've got a lot more money in the bank than we started with. We've made a lot of money for some of our players that we've sold on as well. So we've done so much in 8 years, and it just makes you wonder how much we can do going further forward. I think this could actually work for us. We're slowly, year on year, building better teams, and this is the team we have gone for today. A few differences to the one we had in the first game. Let's have a look. Gerard Murphy, I think he did play in the first game, didn't he? He's going to play it again today. We brought in Inigo Garcia, that's his name. He is, of course, on loan from Athletic, and want to try and see how good he is. He looks like a pretty good player, so why not give him a go? Harleton still keeps his place. Ashley Riley's going to come in at right back. We're playing for a few games. Ashley Riley is a pretty good player. In the midfield, we've dropped Triffett back to centre midfield. Of course, he scored his first goal in his debut. Frank Evans comes back in for his first game of the season. Of course, good old Frank Evans. You can't beat him. He's amazing. And we're going to bring in Cristiano for his first league game of the season as well. A very good player. Once again, he's wanted. Who's he wanted by? He's wanted by Guimeri as well. We've got £1 million on him already anyway, if anyone wants to come in for him. Luis Philippe is actually going to play as a striker in this one. Not his favoured position, but he can play there. So we'll see how he gets on. I'm sure he'll knock in a couple of goals. Twyford's going to play in the middle once again. Fresh off scoring some goals for the reserves as well, so that might boost up his confidence a little bit. And we're going to see the debut of Maximiliano Bustamante. Let's see how good this young lad is. I think he's going to be good for us, I really do. He's played 2 reserve games so far with 2 goals. So let's see how well he can do for the first team as well. Bench-wise, not much difference really. We've got Boinet's on the bench because he's not 100% fit. Morgan is back on the bench. He's not 100% fit yet anyway. So yeah, let's go for it. Let's see if we can make it 2 wins out of 2 against Lincoln. And the main reason I've gone to 3 strikers is because we dominated the first game, but we just couldn't seem to finish it. We couldn't seem to score the goal, so I thought by going for 3 strikers, we're still going to dominate the game. We've got 3 very, very good midfielders in there to dominate the middle of the pitch. And these 3 strikers, I think, will link up quite nicely together and pick up some goals, hopefully. That is the plan. We're dominating possession so far. 3 shots already. Nothing's gone in the back of the net as yet, but we're 10 minutes in and we haven't scored yet. I'm scared. Frank Evans has played a 7 already. Right, we do have a highlight. It's going to be them to start off with it. Green with a big goal kick. It's gone straight over the head of Murphy, but it's picked up by Inigo Garcia on his debut. Plays it forward to Cristiano. Across to the Australian Murphy at left back. And just look how packed out the stadium is once again. I think it's almost a sellout. I think there's not many empty seats there. Bustamante played it back towards Evans. It was cut out but only as far as Cristiano, who takes a long shot, and oh my word! Oh my word, what a goal, Cristiano! And that is just incredible. His first ever goal for Europa Point, and we are going to remember that one. That has got to be goal. That's the best goal I think I've ever seen on Football Manager so far. Look at that. And that's not even a lie. I've played games as Barcelona, games as Man United, games as Bayern Munich, and I don't think I've ever seen a goal as good as that. That was incredible. So we are 1-0 up now, and our three strikers have not made much of a difference. It's Cristiano. Go on, Cristiano, hit it. Go for the shot. No, he sees the nice little run of Ashley Riley on the right-hand side now. Goes for the cross into the box. It reaches Twyford, and it's saved by Green and cleared out by Crossley. What a goal that was by Cristiano. Wow. If only he could do that more often. If he could have done that in the Champions League against Maribor, we might be through to the next round. So Green now with a big goal kick. Plays it forward. And it's picked up nicely by Ceballos, who plays it to Jones. Jones out on the right-hand side to Nolan. Can they get a goal back here? Plays it into Jackson in the middle. Jackson across to Davis. Oh, good tackle. Oh, no. I thought it was a good tackle and they get it as a penalty. No way. Ashley Riley got the ball there cleanly. I'm sure he did. I feel a bit stolen there. I feel a little bit cheated. A little bit cheated. Here comes the goal. Here comes the penalty kick, should say. Ceballos. And it's saved by Ramito. Can he save that? No. Unlucky Ramito. He did so well to save the penalty, but he just couldn't save the follow-up by Ceballos. Or Ceballos. That's a shame that is, because Ramito did such a good job of saving that originally. But look at that. It was fantastic. But unfortunately, the defenders were good. They were moving quickly, but they just couldn't get there before Ceballos. And there we go. It's 1-1. Not too worried, though, because I think we're still going to dominate the most of this match. We are dominating possession, have much more shots, so we should be able to score at least 1 or 2 more goals in this game. And with our defence of Halton and Garcia, I don't think we concede too many more. Luis Felipe on the ball. Again, sees the run of Ashley Riley, maybe. Plays it into Cristiano, who's already hit one cracker. Plays it across to Frank Evans. And Evans has lost it to Sayabos. And Evans gets it back. Great work. It's Triffett who picks it up. Plays it across to Evans. Can Evans see the ball in? It's Bustamante. Plays it back out to Jared Murphy. Is he going to go for a deep cross here? No, he plays it across to Triffett. Come on, Triffett. Into Cristiano. Hit it. Oh, he sees the great run of Philippe. Oh, and it's saved by Green. But Evans picks it up and it's cleared by Roberts. Only as far as Murphy, we can't continue the pressure. Well, there's definitely a goal in there for us. You can tell there's definitely another goal in this for us. Nolan with a throw-in. We don't want to lose these again. They defeated us a couple of times last year in short succession, which led to us actually being 9 points off the top of the table at one point. We didn't have a very good start to the season last year. But as you saw, of course, we dominated towards the end and we actually won the league by about 10 points in the end. So we want to make sure we don't lose those 2 matches this year to Lincoln. I think we can probably just... If we can get past Lincoln, we'll dominate the whole league easily anyway. I think they're the only team that are any real threat. Twyford plays it out to Bustamante, the Argentinian on his debut. Plays it back to Frank Evans, into Cristiano. Cristiano sees Philippe. Philippe sees Twyford. And Twyford sees the back of the net. And it's 2-1. Lovely. Great goal there by Ryan Twyford. Ooh. Sorry, I was reading the bottom of the screen then. And they thought it was offside. Let's have a quick look here. Oh, no, I think he's just on the shoulder. I think that's okay. I think he was just on the shoulder. But 2-1 before half-time. 15 shots in the first half. You'd think we have a bit more goals by now, wouldn't you, really? They've got a corner. Can we break from the corner? Are they actually going to get a goal from this? It's off the crossbar. And Frank Evans boots it clear. A little bit of worrying times there. And then Riley comes out and tackles Carver. Takes him down. They've got a free kick now as well. Riley's looking a little bit like a bit of a risk out there at the moment. He's given away a penalty and that stupid free kick as well. I made a bit of a mistake before this game. All the players that weren't 100% match fitness are sent to play for the reserves a couple of days ago, and that meant our new American right back was actually unfit for this one, which is a little bit annoying. Roberts clears it, but only as far as Hylton, who plays a great ball forward, and Twyford brought it down his chest, and Bustamante almost put it into the back of a net, but Green with a fantastic save. And we're almost 3-1 up there before half-time. This match has been real end-to-end so far. Both teams have a lot of opportunities. We've had a lot more opportunities, but they seem to not be as... Oh my god, they've scored. How are we doing this to ourselves? How are we doing this to ourselves? We're dominating this game. How have they scored twice? I might need to fiddle around with the formation a little bit, in the second half. I think we may have to, I don't know. I thought we'd dominated. Look at that. 17 shots to their 7. And we've managed to concede 2 goals out of the 3 they've hit on target. Defensive-wise, guys, you're not doing too well. I'm not happy with Ashley Riley anyway, but we don't have a right back on the bench. That doesn't really help us out, does it? I'm thinking, what do I want to do here? What do I want to do? So my initial thought was to drop... Okay, I'm going to have to do this now. I don't want to risk conceding any more goals. So we're going to actually drop Luis back there to an attacking midfielder. And we're going to drop Frank Evans back to defensive midfield. And we're going to bring on Chris Morgan in his place. I don't really want to take off Frank Evans at half time, but I think it's necessary just to have that extra defensive mind back there. So it's a little bit disappointing I have to take him off. I didn't really want to, but he's one of my favourite players in this game. But unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be. We're going to have to try and just drop back a little bit. And I think Philippe is actually better as an attacking midfielder than as a striker, so he might come back into it a bit more. It's his favourite position, just playing behind the strikers there. In the pocket of space, causing some problems. And let's see if he can do that for us in the second half. He's the captain now as well. He's more likely going to play every single game, whereas Frank Evans is going to be someone who's going to come in and out of the team. That's why we've taken Frank Evans off of the captain duty and it's gone to Luis Philippe. And the vice-captain is going to be Chris Morgan as well this season. And it's still 2-2, which is a little bit of a worry. Come on, guys. 19 shots to their 8. We should be able to score one more goal. I want to get off to a winning start to the season. We've already beat this team 2-0 in the Pepe Reyes Cup. There's no reason why we can't score a third here and win the first league game 3-2. Come on. Right, we have a highlight. It's Green with a goal kick. Hopefully it is going to be our highlight. It comes straight out to Murphy, who is on a booking. Great ball forward. Bustamante's in. And Bustamante scores on his debut. 3-2 with 15 minutes left. Maximiliano Bustamante. That's going to be this guy. I think this guy is going to be a star for us, He must be a very good player with good potential if he was playing for the way. If he was in the Argentinian under-20 squad, signing for us seems to have completely dropped him out of that squad, but still, he's showing his ability, and he's going to play first-team football here, whereas he was never going to play it for his own... He was playing, no. He wasn't because he was on loan at a different club, and Cristiano makes it 4-2, and now we've turned it around in our favour. Now that's what we want to see. 4-2. Is there anyone else we can bring on substitute-wise? Ashley Miller as a striker, maybe? Or maybe we're going to bring on Boinette because we wanted to get his match fitness. So we're going to take off Luis. He's had a cracking game. We don't want to risk him getting injured. So on's going to come Boinette for the last sort of 15 minutes or so, just to boost him up with a little bit of match fitness as well, because we really want this guy to be one of our top guys this year. He's a fantastic player. And they have a free kick. We don't want to concede now because it might make it a little bit rough towards the end of the game. Oh, we're on the counter-attack here now. Boinette comes forward. It's 3-on-1. Plays a great ball over the top to Bustamante. Can he cap his debut of a second goal? He can. Maximiliano Bustamante sort of shows himself in style here. He's announced his arrival. He's announced his ability. And the two Argentinian players linking up well, but you can't take anything away from Bustamante here. It was a fantastic run. Got into a little bit of trouble with the defender. Managed to keep a hold of the ball using his strength. And then finish it off fantastically into the far corner. And what a great debut that is for Bustamante. And Cristiano, just where did he get that goal from in the first half? That was incredible. And it looks like this could be all. We do have an attacking throw and it goes to Bustamante in the box. Can't have a shot, lad. Plays it back to Triffett, to Cristiano. Triffett into Bustamante. Oh, he's put it wide. He put it wide. That could have been his debut hat-trick, but it doesn't matter. We've won 5-2 against our closest league rivals. It was looking a bit rough there for a bit, but I think our changes at half-time just sort of changed it back in our favour, made our team a little bit more secure, defensively wise and attacking as well, because I think it really brings Philippe into a better position when he's playing attacking midfield rather than the striker role. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Well done to the guys. Well done. That should put us top of the table. Mainly because we were the first game of the season no one else has played, so that should definitely put us top of the table. And there we are, top of the table. Let's have a quick look at the schedule and see what's coming up. Of course, you see we've got Gibraltar United coming up soon, but right, schedule-wise, I think as normal, I'm probably going to run through the entire season, bring you back for the last 2 games of the season, just to give you a brief overview of what's happened during the season and the cup finals. If it gets a bit tight and it looks like we might not win the league, which is very, very, very slim chance, I don't think it will happen, I will bring you back a little bit earlier. But yeah, that's about all I got for you this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. 2 big victories against our biggest rivals in this country, Lincoln Red Imps. Won the Pepe Reyes Cup 2-0, goal from Ryan Twyford and Neil Triffitt. And then won the first game of the season, another goal from Twyford. 2 from Cristiano, including that fantastic goal, which I'm pretty sure will end up being our goal of the season. That's only our first game of the year, but I can tell it's going to be our goal of the season. And 2 goals for the debut in Maximiliano Bustamante. He's going to be a cracker, this lad. Absolute cracker. 22. Oh no, he was playing first team football where he was then. 22 games, 7 goals, 4 assists. And already he started for 1 game, 2 goals, and an average rating of 9 for us. So yeah, this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to this season. It's going to be a really, really good season, and I hope to see you very, very soon and tell you about how great it was and how many goals were scored and how badly we've won and if we've brought any new players and all that sort of shebang. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, then it would be incredible for me if you would hit that like button. It does really help me out a lot. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe for a lot more of the Gibraltar Challenge and potentially 1 or 2 other Foot Manager games I'm looking to start up maybe a bit sooner. If I do start them up, they're going to be a lot more easier ones than this. This is my main one that's going to take a long time really to sort out. But I think I was considering maybe doing like a Rangers one in Scotland to try and revive them. The Rangers Revival I was going to call it. So might be looking at that, and then potentially Summit, maybe Ajax, maybe trying to bring them back to the quality they used to be at, or maybe taking a club from the Championship and getting them up into the Premiership and showing how good they could be as well. So who knows? We'll have a look around and see what we can do. Maybe a club like Nottingham Forest or a club like Leeds that we used to be a big side and have now dropped down into obscurity a little bit in the Championship League 1. So yeah, we might look at doing something like that. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon for some more of the Gibraltar Challenge.